My ex sent me a text that said I could have our dog back when I, quote, grow up. 3 weeks later, I stood in a courtroom. A judge looked at one piece of paper. She said, "The microchip is registered to her. He goes home today." That's how I got Max back. But how did it get that far? How does someone you love turn your own dog into a weapon? And what do you do when the law is the only thing standing between you and the creature who depends on you? I'm going to walk you through every step. The texts. The lawyer letter. The Instagram post that made me look dangerous. And the one document that changed everything. But first, I need you to do something for me. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from and what time it is there right now. Hit that like button. And subscribe, because you're going to want to see how this unfolded. Let me back up to the day it all started. Max wasn't just a dog. He was a rescue. We adopted him together 2 years into our relationship. He had anxiety, separation issues. He'd been surrendered twice before we found him. The shelter told us he needed consistency, so I gave him that. I took him to training classes every Saturday morning. I handled the vet appointments, the medication reminders, the 3 a.m. panic attacks when thunderstorms rolled through. My ex worked long hours in consulting, traveled a lot. They loved Max, but I was the one who kept him alive. I registered his microchip 3 days after we brought him home. I signed up for the vet's patient portal. I saved everything: receipts, email confirmations, invoice PDFs. Not because I was paranoid, just because that's who I am. When my ex and I broke up, it wasn't ugly at first. They said they needed space. We split the furniture, divided the kitchen stuff. Then my ex said, "I'll take Max for a couple weeks while I settle into the new place. He shouldn't have to deal with the chaos of moving." I thought that was kind. I thought it was temporary. I was wrong. 2 weeks later, I texted asking when I could pick him up. That's when everything changed. I kept it simple. "Hey, can I grab Max this weekend? I miss him." The reply took 4 hours. When it came, it wasn't simple at all. "I think we need to talk about what's best for Max right now. You're still in transition. I'm not sure your place is stable enough for a dog with his needs." I stared at my phone. Transition? I had a 1-bedroom apartment. Fully furnished. Pet deposit paid. I wrote back, "I'm not in transition. I'm settled. And he's my dog too. Our dog. And I'm not comfortable with how you're approaching this. You're being really aggressive." Aggressive. I'd sent one text. Then came the list. If we're going to co-parent Max, I need proof of stable housing. A schedule we both agree to. And honestly, an acknowledgement that you're going to act like an adult about this. Co-parent. Like Max was a child in a custody battle. I wasn't asking to co-parent. I was asking for my dog. I called. No answer. I texted again. "This is ridiculous. He's not a kid. Just tell me when I can pick him up." The response was instant. "Maybe when you grow up, we can talk about shared custody. Don't make this ugly." I felt my chest tighten. This wasn't a breakup anymore. This was a hostage situation. I tried calling again the next day. Straight to voicemail. I sent one more text. "I just want to see him, please." No reply. So I drove to their apartment. I didn't bang on the door. I didn't yell. I knocked. Someone else answered. My ex's new partner. Tall, confident, annoyed. "They're not here." "Then you need to leave." "I just want to talk about Max." "Max is fine. You showing up like this?" "Not fine." "Leave, or I'm calling the cops." I left. 3 days later, an envelope arrived. Certified mail. Inside was a letter on law firm letterhead. Cease and desist. It accused me of harassment, erratic behavior, unstable living conditions. It threatened a restraining order if I made any further contact. I sat on my floor and read it twice. A friend came over that night. I showed them the letter. They sighed. Pets are property. Without paperwork, it's your word against theirs. You might be screwed. That same evening, my ex posted a photo on Instagram. Max, sitting in a designer dog bed. Caption, "My boy." 200 likes. I thought I'd lost. Then I opened my filing cabinet. I keep hard copies of everything: lease agreements, insurance, tax returns, and pet records. I found the microchip registration certificate in a folder labeled Max. I pulled it out. Owner name, mine. Address, mine. Phone number, mine. Date, 3 days after we adopted him. My ex had never asked to be added, never updated it, never even mentioned it. In the eyes of any vet, any shelter, any animal control officer, I was Max's legal owner. I took a photo of the certificate, time-stamped it, uploaded it to 3 cloud accounts. Then I did some research. In my state, microchip registration creates a legal presumption of ownership. Not absolute proof, but a strong presumption. If someone brought Max to a vet and the chip was scanned, my name and number would come up. Not my ex's. I felt a flicker of relief. But I knew one document wouldn't be enough. Not if they were going to claim I was dangerous. Not if they filed that restraining order. I needed more. So I kept digging. 2 days later, my ex went public. A long Instagram post. I won't read the whole thing. But here's the summary. They were protecting Max from a toxic situation. They were heartbroken to be in this position. They hoped I would get the help I needed. The comments were full of heart emojis and support. People I'd known for years. Mutual friends. They had no idea what was actually happening. Within hours, I started getting messages. Hey, are you okay? I didn't know things were that bad. Do you need someone to talk to? I felt my reputation crumbling in real time. Then the worst part. A week later, another certified letter. This time it was a petition. Family court. Requesting a restraining order. It cited my uninvited visit to their apartment. My obsessive text messages. My inability to respect boundaries. The hearing was scheduled in 10 days. If I lost, I would be legally prohibited from going within 500 feet of my ex. Or Max. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't focus at work. I had 10 days to prepare a defense. 10 days to prove I wasn't the villain they were painting. I had a choice. Stay silent and lose everything. Or show up with proof. I chose proof. I logged into the vet's patient portal. I hadn't checked it in weeks. But every record was still there. 2 years of invoices, every single one under my name, my email, my credit card, vaccinations, heartworm tests, dental cleaning, emergency visit for a swallowed sock, the account holder field me, the emergency contact me. I downloaded everything, organized it by date. Then I pulled the original adoption paperwork. We'd both signed it. But there was a field at the top. Primary adopter. That was me. I printed 2 copies of everything. Then I went back through our old text messages. I found one from 8 months before we broke up. My ex had written, "Thanks for handling all the vet stuff. I don't have the bandwidth right now." I screenshotted it. I created a binder. Tab 1, Timeline. Tab 2, Financial Records. Tab 3, Communications. Tab 4, Registration and Adoption. It was 3 inches thick. Now I just needed to understand why they were doing this. The answer came from an unexpected place. A mutual friend finally called me. Someone who'd stayed neutral through the whole breakup. They sounded uncomfortable. "I need to tell you something." I listened. My ex's new partner was wealthy. Like serious money. And they were obsessed with image. Perfect apartment. Perfect wardrobe. Perfect life. Max was part of that image. He's an Australian shepherd. Purebred. Expensive. Instagram gold. My ex had been taking him to upscale dog parks in the rich part of town. Posting pictures with captions like "Best Co-Pilot" and "Rescue Dad Life." The new partner loved it. Loved the aesthetic. My friend said, "I think they're rewriting the story. Telling people they rescued Max alone. That they did all the training." It clicked. This wasn't about what was best for Max. It wasn't even about me. It was about control. About status. About fitting into a new life where everything looked flawless. Max was a prop, and I was the inconvenient ex who didn't fit the narrative. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just done. I knew exactly what to do. I filed a legal claim the next morning. It's called replevin. It's a request to recover personal property. No criminal accusations. No drama, just, this is mine. I can prove it. I want it back. I attached the microchip certificate, the vet records, the adoption paperwork, every payment receipt. I also filed a motion to dismiss the restraining order petition. I cited lack of evidence. I included screenshots of my ex's Instagram posts, the ones painting me as unstable while they posted pictures with my dog. I represented myself. The filing fee was $85. I didn't need a lawyer for this. I had documentation. I had the truth. And I had nothing to hide. I wrote one sentence at the top of my motion. The dog is microchipped and registered to me. I am the account holder for all veterinary care. I am the primary adopter. I have receipts. I filed everything electronically. Paid the fee. Got a confirmation email. The hearing was in 4 days. I didn't sleep much. But I was ready. The hearing was in a family courtroom. Windowless. Fluorescent lights. A few other people waiting for their cases. My ex showed up with their lawyer. Expensive suit. Leather briefcase. I had my binder and a pen. We were called in. The judge was a woman in her 50s. She looked tired. She asked the lawyer to speak first. He did. He painted me as volatile, obsessive, unable to let go. He said I'd shown up uninvited at my ex's home. He said I'd sent harassing messages. He said the restraining order was necessary for my ex's safety and peace of mind. The judge listened. Then she looked at me. Do you have a response? I didn't argue. I didn't get emotional. I just said, yes, Your Honor, I have documentation. I handed her my binder. She flipped through it. The courtroom was silent. After maybe 2 minutes, she looked up. She asked my ex directly, is the dog microchipped? My ex hesitated. Yes. To whom? Silence. My ex's lawyer leaned over, whispered something. My ex said quietly, I'm not sure. The judge turned back to me. Do you have the registration? I did. I handed her the certificate. She read it aloud. Owner Sarah Mitchell. Registration date, April 18th, 2021. She flipped to the vet records. Read the account name. Looked at the adoption form. Then she set the binder down. She said, the dog is legally hers. He goes home today. She looked at the lawyer. Restraining order petition denied. The respondent has demonstrated clear ownership through microchip registration, veterinary account records, and adoption documentation. If your client wishes to dispute ownership, they may file separately, but based on what's in front of me, there's no grounds. She banged the gavel once. Court is adjourned. I didn't cry until I got to my car. My ex returned Max the next morning. No words. They pulled up to my building, opened the car door, and Max jumped out. I knelt down. He remembered me. Of course he did. I checked him over. Took him to the vet that afternoon just to be sure. He was healthy, a little thinner maybe, but okay. The Instagram post disappeared within 24 hours. So did the one about protecting him. Some mutual friends reached out. Quiet apologies. I didn't know the full story. Some people never spoke to me again. I was fine with that. I didn't post about the court win. I didn't gloat. I didn't name names or share screenshots publicly. I just blocked my ex on everything and moved on. I updated Max's microchip contact info, added a secondary emergency contact just in case. I switched to a new vet closer to my apartment. Started fresh. Max and I are good now. He's back in training classes. We go on long walks every morning. I'm in therapy, not because I'm broken, but because being manipulated like that leaves a mark, and I wanted to process it the right way. I also started volunteering at a legal clinic that helps people with pet custody disputes. Turns out, it's more common than you'd think, and a lot of people don't know their rights. I help them gather documentation, microchip records, vet invoices, adoption contracts. The boring stuff that saves lives. Here's what I learned. Your love for someone or something doesn't mean you surrender your rights. Documentation isn't paranoia. It's protection. And when someone tries to rewrite your story, the receipts write it back. So let me ask you, have you ever had to fight for something that was legally yours? What would you have done in my place? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if this reminded you to keep your records, to know your worth, and to stand up even when it's hard, do me a favor. Hit subscribe. Give Max a virtual pet in the comments. He's a very good boy. And remember, this is a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes. It's not legal or financial advice. If you're in a similar situation, talk to a lawyer in your area. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.